which is called as Secrets of Living a Full Life. That a full life is a pureless. Under this topic, today we have an awesome topic which में और रिस्क लेने से इम्पोर्टेंट है. अगर आपको जो हो आप उस क्षेत्र में आगे बढ़ना है तो आपको रिस्क तो लेना है. आपका कोई इश्क नहीं हो सकता. लव दैट यू हैव फॉर योर वर्क और द लव दैट यू हैव फॉर द सोसाइटी दैट यू हैव फॉर योर फेलो बीइंग्स. लेना बहुत ही जरूरी है. दिया, आपको क्या लगता है कि क्यों लेना चाहिए रिस्क? बताइए.
अगर रिस्क लेंगे तो हमें सीखना मिलेगा कि क्या होगा इसके आगे.
Wonderful. So you can write it down. If you take risks, you learn. If you learn, you grow. You earn more. Write this down. What did I say?
Take risk, you grow.
If
You grow.
if you take risks, you learn. If you when you learn, you grow.
You learn, you
And
grow.
yeah, and when you grow, you earn more.
1 second.
If you take risks, you learn. You learn more. And because you learn more, and because you grow more, you earn. Isn't it fantastic? Yes?
Yeah.
लेने से इश्क हो जाता है. इश्क किससे होता है? कैन एनीबडी एल्स टेल? रिस्क लेने से इश्क किसके साथ होता है? दिस वाज शरण्या, सॉरी. कृति, रिस्क लेने से इश्क किससे हो जाता है? हाँ, यस. रिस्क लेने से इश्क किस होता है?
सोचा है रिस्क लेंगे, कोई भी सोचा है चीज, उसको अगर अपन ऐसे इजीली हो जाएगा तो अपन उसकी वैल्यू नहीं करेंगे. अगर वही अपन उसमें
नहीं. Make it very simple. If you take risks, you fall in love with your own self. And when you fall in love with your own self, रिस्क लेने से इश्क होता है अपने आप से, और जब इश्क होता है तो पूरी दुनिया से इश्क होता है. यू स्टार्ट एक्सप्लोरिंग योर सेल्फ, you start innovating, and you start getting the benefits of the risk that you have taken. But when I'm talking about risks, take just any risk. Or that if you want to get into another place, the place that you're standing wrong, and then you have to jump into another place where you can afford to experiment. Sorry, risk लेंगे. आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि can I, is this risk going to be, what are the questions you can ask taking risks? Write down. Questions you can ask yourself while taking risks. Is it worthwhile? Is it well? आपने रिस्क ली, इश्क में प्यार हो गया और फिर वो बंदा छोड़ के चला गया, या वो बंदा क्या बोले बस हो गया, खत्म करती हूँ, या मैं जिंदगी खत्म करता हूँ. तो इज दैट रिस्क ऑफ पुटिंग योर लाइफ टू एन एंड अ वर्थ? उससे फायदा किसको होगा? Correct? That's a question you have to ask. And if you think that it is not going to benefit, it is going to harm somebody, then you should not take that risk. Correct? For example, many years back, a gentleman named Mr. Kurian started the Amul company. Okay? So that was preparing products from milk, like Amul butter you have, Amul cheese you have. So when he decided to set up a factory, in fact, every businessman takes the first risk of starting his own business. right? So when he started that company, it was a risk, isn't it? How far will Amul reach with respect to the products? He did not know then. He did not know whether his products would be liked. He did not know whether his products would sell. He did not know whether his products would have such a it is having now. But he had to take a risk, right? And the entire, and you know that, and specifically that brand image that he formed, utterly butterly delicious. Everybody remembers it. बच्चे बच्चे को ये चीज याद है. तो अगर उन्होंने वो रिस्क नहीं ली होती तो आज हम पिच नहीं ले पाते. करेक्ट. सो अटरली बटरली डिलिशियस, ये उसका टैगलाइन था और वो लड़ी उसका ब्रांड मैस्कॉट है, राइट. सो इफ ही हैड नॉट डिसाइडेड टू, we would not have got this product. And because started this company, there were so many milkmen in Gujarat, that is specifically in Anand, who could sell their milk with factory. So they were getting money for the milk that they produced through the animals that they bred. Correct? So a question zarur pucha ga, is it worthwhile? Do you think that risk was worthwhile? It was worthwhile, no? Because he started that company, employees started getting that salary would make them run their houses, right? The way products that they came out with, flavor to our normal food that we have. आज किसके घर में बटर नहीं होता? Take a risk. You have to ask one question: is it worthwhile? Okay. And if you think it is, you should go ahead for it. And if you think it is not, you should back out. Because that is one thing, one help you to know whether you should take the risk or not. Second, what if the risk? What are the losses if I take the risk? Wrote the second question. What are the losses if I do take the risk? Maybe I miss out on an opportunity. Maybe I miss out on, then should I take it or not? Okay. So these are two questions you can ask yourself before taking a risk. For example, when Amitabh Bachchan did ABCL Corporation, which was a company that he launched along with his brother, it was a risk that he was taking, risking his reputation, his family, his money. But he took that risk, and even he brought him a lot of losses, right? To pay the debt he had made, he did all the possible, jitna advertisements mil raha tha chota, he did all the advertisements and he bounced back and became debt free. There was a time when Mukesh Ambani had offered to pay his debts off, but he said, no, I will see what I can do. And eventually he wrote off all his debts and became debt free. So he took a risk, he did, but still he grew. He had some losses, but so when he took a risk, it was not worthwhile, but it helped him to grow himself as a model for advertisements. And he was taken very well by the, learned something more about himself. So I would like you to know with risks what we can do and grow. Beneficiation, exploration, and growth. You can write it down. Benefits of taking risk. Innovation, exploration, because if you want to grow, simple as that. Today, Kate has come in a session. She is risking judgment of people. She is risking how she will be perceived at, okay? But beneficial to her. Kate, is this risk that you're going to come in front of the ideas about risk worthwhile? Kate, are you answering and I cannot hear? Is that so? Kate, please unmute yourself. I can't see you. I think I'm not able to say. So Kate doesn't seem to be ready for the risk. Let's take Vedant. Vedant, can you unmute yourself, Vedant? Dia, are you able to hear me? Okay. So since I think I'm not able to hear Vedant also, why don't you and come on the screen? Oh, Vedant is saying can't unmute. Why? Okay. Yes. Dia, you are on the screen. Becoming an inspiration today. So if you would like to add value to today's discussion.
Without risk, love remains. With courage, it becomes a story.
Wow. Super.
Take risk, we'll come to know the benefits, and we will also learn also from those mistakes that we make.
Correct.
So risk is a part and parcel of our life. We need to take it every now and then, whether it's in career or it's in balancing the family, etc., or even in studies. रिस्क है तो इश्क है.
सही है, रिस्क है तो इश्क है. देखो अगर मैंने स्टार्ट ये रिस्क न लिया होता कि मैं अपनी जो स्कूल की स्कूल का जो मेरा टीचर, मैं जो टीचर थी, वाइस प्रिंसिपल थी, वो जो काम मैंने अगर छोड़ा नहीं होता, आज मैं जिंदगी से इश्क नहीं कर रही होती. So until my end has been taking risks. So रिस्क टेका है. कुछ लोग बहुत कम रिस्क लेते हैं. जैसे there was this one couple who wanted to, they said like, okay, we will go by train to go for the pilgrimage. Then there came an incident that had happened. So they got so to go by bus. When they decided to go by bus and they were going to book the bus tickets, they found, वो bus का accident हो गया. So they got again scared. They said, no, 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 we are not going to go by bus. We will stay at home only. Pilgrimage का बाद में करेंगे. They heard a story about the people staying in the building. So they thought in their minds, train, or if we went by bus, or even at home, we are at the risk of dying. Anything can happen anytime. Low risk appetite, and they found themselves to be remaining in what they are doing. So the flip side of taking risks is that you tend to remain और रुका हुआ आदमी हुआ पानी सड़ जाता है. तो अगर आपको सड़ना नहीं है तो आपको, और अगर आप बहते हो तो मुकाबला करना पड़ेगा. आपको अपना रास्ता बनाting in its way, but it dis forward. So some people have a very high appetite for risk. To talk about the personality pattern, I am a intuitor. Intuitor means innovative. So those who are innovators, those like scientists, people who come up with new things, creative people, they are all innovators. They want to do something new every day. So they take a lot of risks. So there were, one of the things that happened with Thomas Alva Edison, one of the greatest inventors of our times, was that his entire building caught fire. He was not disturbed because when somebody asked him, he said, okay, it's a new all over again. How many people can have that kind of a mindset? Right? Only if you take risks, then can you create something new. I remember a time I've just written down all those stuff. So even in my sessions, I do something very unique. So I'll give you an example for the Rama group. And there was this game about, where we put head, knee, mark. Monk, where have you, to me, please? I'll show it to you. नहीं दिख रहा है मुझे. No, I can't. हाँ हाँ. One sec. Just give me a few minutes. Mhm. Can you please write tic-tac-toe? What is the heading of that? वही है भाई. Yeah, I'll just share this with you. Just a minute. वेदांत को एंटर कराओ. No, sound. Share sound. Here. Can you all see? Can you all see this? The screen? Hello? Is
Yes.
it visible? Okay. So this was a game in which we had to here. Please, battery. थोड़ा pass करो. You know, I generally make people play the game. I play. So who was shot in the game without a partner. So I said, okay, I'll come. And that guy, very difficult, a very strong competitor. So his name is Sachin Pukale. So he was there in front of me saying, now let me see, are you able to do it or not? And then I said, okay, I have been motivating this entire team of around 100 people. And now I am put into the spotlight. And if I do not win, what will happen? So it was a risk for me to participate in where, you know, I had to win. Look at this and see what happened.
The game suddenly heads. Shoulder.
I was so scared.
Head. Hips. खड़े रहो झुकना नहीं है. Hips. Shoulder बोला. Okay, marker.
So this is actually for me to, you know, play the game where I have never experienced playing it. I have conducted it a number of times. So this guy, Sachin, was very, very tough and, you know, very alert. And I thought I would lose out. But it was a risk that I took and I won. And I'm so happy. Had I not risked myself, I could have very well excused myself and asked him to just be an observer. But I took in that risk because even I wanted to push myself and know I have the capacity within me to do, you know, things so that you are focused and you win in every situation. So whether to test, and that was a risk that I took, and I'm so happy. Like, you know, I fell in ishq with me because I said, "Wow, Biji, this was really great. You did so well." So you put yourself into opportunities which gives you a chance to explore, understand yourself, and in that process evolve, and you also make an impact on other people. So I am sure their respect for me increased much more than what it was. Of course, they all respect me, but it increased much more after I participated in the game and I won. Okay, so it was a risk. My reputation could have gone down, but I took that risk. Another risk that I took was in almost all the games that I create, it can be a success, it can be failure because I design and innovate the games. So there is always a chance of it failing. Like, for example, once I had created a game and what outcome I expected, the behavior I expected from the group, it was totally different. But a well-read person, I could handle the situation and we came up with some other learning. So until you experiment, until you try to do something different, you will never ever grow. Okay, Vedant is ready. Vedant, I'll take you in now. You can unmute yourself and put your video also on. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
So, no risk, no ish. So, I will start with a small example. Let's just take an example.
Okay.
A kite, when a kite tries to fly high, same wind takes it up later, takes it to the person holding the string. That's the thing. You have to loosen the string, you have to take risks to reach heights. And celebrate people who stay in their comfort zone. Who all celebrates the people who go out, who do stuff,
Yes.
and also risk is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be.
Superb, superb. I think he deserves a huge round of applause. Your understanding about risk, the example about that was really awesome. I have never thought about this aspect and connecting it to risk was. Did you enjoy taking the risk of speaking here today?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So, until you have decided to come out of your comfort zone, you will not get. ताली उन्हीं को मिलती है जिनको मैदान में उतरने का वही लोग जो मैदान लोगों को ताली मिलती है तो अगर एंटर आउटसाइड एंटर into the risk zone out of your comfort zone and enter into your risk zone because भैया बिना risk कोई इश्क नहीं होता, right? So companies, if you want to reach your dreams, you have to risk into the mud, risk growing into the dark soil. It has to hurt by the sharp stones in it, risk being eaten up by the insects. But without the risk, it is definitely not going to grow. And when it grows into a huge tree, it is a fruits to so many people and know about its significance. So if you want to explore your significance, if you want to explore your real worth, you have to risk to come out of your comfort zone into your risk zone. And whatever you do in your risk zone, proportion into your success zone. So the zone, and once your risk zone widens, the be taking calculus, not impulsive risks. So what is the difference between a calculated risk? Vedant.
Impulsive risk is, I think, wherever you think you can take, but calculated risk is something that you know what you want to do, what you want to achieve, and what is the correct path. There can be n number of paths to achieve a thing. This the correct calculated.
Correct. So there are some people who take the impulsive and that risk gives them a lot of. So does anybody know what is that impulsive risk? Perfect. अरे आज तो बहुत अच्छी अच्छी बातें बोल रहे हो वेदांत. You are much better offline. I think you're not nobody beside you, so I think you can just help, right? Yes, yes. Looks like because totally your body language you're speaking is so charming, but when you're coming offline, sorry, you are like sort of very scared and totally different.
Great.
You have to take the risk and come out of your comfort zone and be equally impressive and even in a live session. All right. So we were talking about the impulsive risk, and he's very correct. When they're playing cards, for example, put a hand on the card and they say this is a queen, and it will turn out to be a queen, right? So they have to take, and that comes out to be the truth. So develop this intuition. is it possible for you to intuitively know whether you have to take a risk or not? Kate, you have been very silent. Can you just message me what is the have a problem with your hello? Are you there? Mic is not working. Okay. So next time, please ensure that you come into a place where your mic is working properly. Okay. So we come to the next aspect of it. Now, how can you increase your appetite for risks? How can you take risks, calculated risks? One of the things to improve your risk taking ability or taking calculated risk is whatever you do now, the difficulty level of it. Just come into a discussion with you and not prepare it for today's session. Okay? Because I've done it a number of times, but I took the trouble of increasing my difficulty of conducting this session. I did a lot of research. I did a work. I did a lot of, searching for examples. And then I've come with this. I am able to reinforce my successes, like the example which I showed you earlier. I'm reliving that moment and reliving that joy. So it is giving me that happiness. So when I'm taking an increased, I'm making it more difficult. The process that I'm doing, anything that you want to do, let's say you're going for a meeting, let's say casually also. Just take the first case that you're going to meet somebody. You just have to do that person. That's it. That's one thing difficult. How can you make this process difficult? Yes? No idea? Gee. No, I'm not setting idea broadband. So how can you make this? You have the answer to this. Okay. So my question will take calculated risks. Thing to help you take calculated risk is to make a practice. The practices is to increase what you're doing, increase the difficulty. How to increase the difficulty? You're going to meet somebody. You make this process more difficult. You just don't go and meet them. How you make it difficult? You decide specifically what you're going to wear. Decide, can I take a gift for them? If I make it a little more, what can I use? What can I speak there? How can I future? How can I make it a win-win interaction? So you make this process so difficult, right? Now that you have made this process very difficult, what is the benefit that you're getting? You are taking a risk of that gift being accepted or rejected. Correct. But in the process, you are learning how to make gifts more presentable, more decorative. Some aspect about the opposite person. So as per, are you getting it? So this is how you process difficult. Now, when you make the process difficult, you innovate. And when you innovate, you grow. And when you grow, more simple. So you start utilizing different thought processes and ways of creatively doing certain things. And in the process, you grow. End point of taking risks is to grow. Now, second thing, that is first thing is, second thing is innovating. Okay. So I have done so many training sessions on the topic myself. But every session I demands, I innovate and I keep on changing the inputs that I give in every session because I believe every audience is different. That my experiences in able to deal with different kinds of people from different backgrounds and different industries in training went on increasing. So first is increasing difficulty is be more personal. So what happens is when I risk talking to a stranger, I build a connection with that person. I am able to deal with different kinds of people, so my interpersonal increases. So three things your risk appetite or calculated risks will be first, you can write it down, the difficulty level of what you're doing. Second, do something different or innovate. And third is be more personal or actions to take will be definitely fruitful. Practicing or rather take risks which will result in good results. Another risk that I took was in one of the Patkar College. So I did something that I'd never done before in any of my training sessions. So I could have that. I could have been laughed at. At the same time, I could also have been. So what it was, I decided to start the session, I think, and I said, come make it more interesting. And I volunteers from the group. And I really surprised myself. And I really surprised myself. There is two hands and two legs straight, with the body straight, for a count of 40. We are compared to the other person who was there. So it gave me a courage and belief that yes, I took. So taking risks is very important. And if you can give your personal examples, it will be more better to get across the point. No issue. So if you take, you will grow. If you will grow, you will learn more. Any questions related to risk? So tell me, what is one thing that you will do differently from today? Each of you take few minutes, and the audience who are watching out there, please do put in the comments. What new risk will you take now onwards? One thing. Try to do something that you have never done, but of course, ensure that it is constructive, not destructive. Yes, Diya, Vedant, or Kriti, or Kate, you can just write it in your in the
Speak on the stage in my college.
perfect. Is gonna speak on the stage in his college. Wonderful. That's the risk that he's gonna take. Yes, Diya.
Throwing myself
Which well?
well.
Real well.
Huh?
Actual well. Hua.
Nice. It's like basically taking up the task at the front judging. Like be the front.
Okay. So in a group setting, if you have to take a challenge, head on.
Yeah. And then you
I'm going to put you into the spot now. Let me see how you're going to jump into the well. Yes, Kriti. What risk are you going to take? Sorry. Oh.
Like in gym, I don't know due to my hand issues. I will
Huh?
take the risk of doing that.